Going over the couple of roads there, and we are on short final here.
20, 10.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? PoodsterGaming here, and today we're finally back in X-Plane 10 doing another landing challenge. Now, today's landing challenge is going to be very, very popular. I mean, this is the most famous approach in the whole world. Everyone knows about it. It's the K-Tac landing. We'll be landing on runways 13 because the other 131 is just, it's not important. It's boring. This approach is much different, it's very interesting, and can be very challenging, especially with different winds and weather. It's just challenging to begin with, especially with the 747, which is what we're flying today. This is the SSG 747. It's a fun little aircraft. It's not fully in-depth with the systems, and it's still right, but it's just really fun to fly. If you want something more in-depth, I would get something like the 757. So if I zoom in here, you'll see this is the main city, and you will also see part of K-Tac. It's right here, right along that line. And K-Tac is basically in the center of Hong Kong. It is now closed. It's not here anymore. They closed it in 1998 for reasons because it was just unsafe, very challenging on pilots, and it just caused a lot of annoyingness. It's very annoying. So that's why they moved it way over here. It is now man-made island, middle of nowhere. It's got more runways. It's got 2 now, I think. We have 2 runways now, and that's where I just ignore. I don't know why this fucking trucks is the magic. Okay, the magic. Anyways, this is where they are. Hong Kong Airport is now located far away from the main city. K-Tac is still fun to fly. Sadly, I think it was the ILS for runway 13, the beacon is closed on X-Plane 10. So I cannot do an ILS. I cannot tune into the old frequency. It doesn't work anymore, sadly. So I'm going to do it manually. It's not that hard. We're going to do autopilot, set about 88 degree heading, and we're going to slowly descend around like 500 feet per minute. So let's head up to the cockpit, and let's get going. Alright guys, we are here on final approach. And we're first going to make sure our auto brake is on 2 and our speed brakes are armed. Let me double check. There we go. Speed brakes armed, auto brake 2. We're not going to use full auto brake. Yeah, it's just because it's a long runway. We don't need all the auto brake. We have reverse thrusters to help us slow down. And we're going to maintain around 163 knots. It's fast, but we are quite full on, not full on fuel, but we're quite heavy with fuel. And it is a pretty big airplane. We're going to land around 155-ish. We're not going to land at 163. That's quite fast. But we're going to land around 155-ish. Now, before we land, I'm going to show you something. Here is the wonderful checkered board that is very famous in front of us. And if you see those 3 really bright lights, these bright lights will help us guide into the runway. And which is perfect because it's hard to look while flying this big airplane. Like I can't look right. It's too hard to do that. So I'm going to start to decrease my speed to 155 knots. Now, if you notice, a lot of these buildings do have orange beacons on top. A very good educated guess would be that it's for planes. In conditions such as IFR or anything like that, you want to make sure that you're not going to smash into the building. That would be a catastrophe. Anyways, so we're here, final approach. We're a little bit to the left, but that's okay. We can compensate that with a little bit of turning.
500.
Maintaining around 153 knots, perfect. It's probably going to yell. Yeah, there it is. It's going to yell bank angle. It's just the way it is. Put a little bit more throttle into this. We're under 150. I want to keep the speed a little bit up. I don't want to stall it or tail strike it upon landing. Okay, center line good. Speed up. 100. We're a little bit low. That's okay though.
50, 40, 30, 20. 10.
Alright, we're down. Reverse thrusters engaged. Auto brake is already engaged. Spoilers are probably up by now. knots.
80 knots.
Check. Reverse thrusters are off. Manual braking. And we can turn off the taxiway now. According to landing, we had 170 feet per minute. Perfect landing. And from visually, we had a small bump, which is okay. Holy shit. This is a wide turn. Very sharp one, too. Alright, we are now off the runway. We can... Well, actually, our brake is disengaged. We can turn off landing lights. Oh, I can't see it from here. Turn off the landing lights. Keep the runway lights on. Oh, fuck. Anyways, who cares? Let's just stop here and let's look at the replay, okay? Jeez, who needs to watch me taxi to the gate? Alrighty, guys, so we are currently at the control tower and we are going to view our landing from the controller's point of view. We press play and this is basically very short final. We just finished our turn. We straighten out. We are slowing down our descent and we're getting ready for land. Or getting ready to land. We get past the threshold. We flare. Small bounce. That's okay. That's minor detail. Speed brakes are now deployed fully. We now touch ground the ground. All wheels are touched, and it was a smooth landing right in the center of the runway.
400.
Bank angle.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alrighty guys, for the final part of this video, we're going to land an A380 at the Cod My Man's local airport. In the comments below on the last video, he said land an A380 at his home airport of Windham. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere, lots of trees. But if I zoom in on the airport, you'll notice it's not very long. The longest runway is roughly 1,300 meters, and in the Airbus book, I think they said 1,900 meters is minimum for an A380. Now, as you know, you don't need 1,900 meters. You can actually use less. So we're going to try that. Full reverse thrusters, full brake. We're going to land at the very beginning. We're going to go low on the glide slope. It's going to look super awkward, but we're going to try to do it. Also, this airplane is a freeware, so don't expect it to be accurate whatsoever. Now, in Windham here, as you can tell, just by the speed jumping up and down, and by a little bit of turbulence, the wind is quite heavy, actually. It's currently 14 knots, gusting to 22 knots at a direction of 330, so it's almost 90 degrees. So, luckily we're a big aircraft, because if we were in a Cessna or anything like that, we would have been kind of screwed. Anyways, the weather is really nice here. Clear day, strong winds, a little cold, actually. And let's just pretend we have an emergency. Some guy needs to go to the hospital. He has a heart attack, and this is the closest airport nearby, even though there's like one not too far away from here. But you know what? It's a huge emergency. We need to land now. Anyways, this is gonna look awkward for the people living in the houses. If you can just imagine, you got like a local airport with only general aviation. All of a sudden, you just see a fucking A380 come out of nowhere. It's gonna look really awkward. Anyways, we're gonna ride the stall speed here, roughly around 130 knots, according to what it says on there. And we gotta go a little bit lower. I know it looks like we are at a good altitude, but trust me, we need to go a little bit lower. The runway is very thin, so it's very deceiving to you. There we go. The Pappy lights say we are good. I like that. Wind's quite strong, actually. It's really pushing me. I gotta really push the rudder there to keep it straight. 40.
30,
Here we go.
20, 10.
Alright, speed brakes deployed. Full reverse thrusters and max braking. 80 knots. 50 knots. Wow, look at that. It was a little hard, but look at that. We landed on the runway. Let me just quickly I don't think I can make this, can I? Let's just taxi off the runway. I think I'm a little big for this airport. Yep, I'm just a little big for the airport. Friggin' taxiway is more narrow than my than the width of my wheels there. Holy crap. Alright, now flying over the houses, that just must be a wonderful sight to see in real life. And yes, as you can tell, we are getting quite pushed, believe it or not. So landing was an extra challenge. It was really interesting. We are quite low to the ground here. Approaching the runway. And touchdown. I mean, it was hard, and I actually veered off the runway. Holy shit. But hey, we actually made it. And it was a landing. Everyone survived. No one died. Maybe a little bit of structural failure, but that's okay.
20, 10.
And touchdown is a little bit hard. A really big bounce. And we're down. That's it. We did go off the runway just a little bit, but it's a tiny runway. That's my excuse. But hey, we landed an A380 on a runway that is very tiny. And only meant for general aviation. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it's probably the plane. This probably wouldn't happen in real life. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was really fun to make, and I had a blast making it. Landing in K-Tech and landing at Kanzo Port. Really, really fun. Just before I go, here is a Concorde. Is freeware. Is not the best at all. I mean, come on. It's like some guy just popped it together. Here's the cockpit. Yeah, see? It's not the best. But hey, it's a Concorde, and it's cool. It's a Concorde. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully another X-Plane 10. See ya.